All right, so you guys need to pay attention today. This stuff is going to be new. Notice that both equations are now in slope-intercept form. They are both solved for y. So we know that y equals all of this, and that y also equals all of this. Well, if y equals this and y equals that, and they're both equal to y, then they're both equal to each other. If y is equal to y, so let's say y equals, I don't know, blue, and y equals red. What can I say about blue and red? What's that? They're the same. They equal each other. Because if they equal y and y is the same as y, then the two have to be exactly the same. I know blue and red doesn't look the same. You wouldn't think that they're the same. But if it says that blue is equal to y and red is equal to y, then both blue and red have to be equal to each other. So therefore, when we see this and we see that all of this is equal to y and all of this is equal to y, that means these two are equal to each other. So we write that out as negative 6x minus 5 equals 2x plus 11. And then we go ahead and solve this. Well, there is no distribute. There's no distribute, right? No parentheses. There's no combine like terms. You can't add these. This one and this one don't add together. You got to do it per side. You can't add this and this together. But we do have an extra variable. And because there's one on each side and we have numbers, the easiest one to do is pick the lowest one. So the lowest is negative 6. Or now, if you pick 2, you're going to be okay. But the lowest one's going to save you that you don't have to divide by a negative. So I'm going to go ahead and add 6x to both sides of the equation. This is that third step. Remove the extra variable because we do have an extra variable. We have a variable on both sides. So just like if I was removing what's added or subtracted, that's what I'm doing here. I'm just taking the x with it. Because if I have negative 6x's and I add 6x's, or if I have 6x's and get rid of 6x's, I have no x's. They're gone, and I'm left with just minus 5. 2x's plus 6x's, well, 2 and 6 is 8x's. Bring down the plus 11, everything outside the circles. That's why I do the circles. Now we go to the fourth step, which is remove what's added or subtracted the variable. There's the variable. It's either going to be the 8 or the 11. Well, we have x plus 11. We have 8 times x. So we're looking for that plus part, and that's here. Just like we did up here, except we're not including the x. So we're do opposite operation. Since we had minus, we added. Here we have plus, we're going to minus. So we do it on both sides to the like terms. Our 11s now are gone. We have 11, take away 11, we have none. We're left with 8x. And then we have negative 5 minus 11 is negative 16. And our equals. And we do our final step, and that's remove what's multiplied to the variable, which happens to be the 8. So our 8's are gone. We're left with x equals, and negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. So that's our first part of this. We've solved for x, the x value. What do? Just like we always do, we know what x is now. We can pick either one of them. Doesn't matter which one. I'll just pick the top one just for picking. Negative 6, I know what x is now because that's what I did. I took the x out. I changed the x to a parenthesis. It's the same equation. I just substitute the x in for it now. And x is negative 2. See, it said x is negative 2. Negative 2 is x. I go up here and I put negative 2 in for x. I replace it. And I distribute. Negative 6 times negative 2 is 12. I just bring down that minus 5. Well, there it is. I'm just going to add these two together. 12 minus 5, or subtract them, whatever you want to say it, is 7. My answer, where my two lines cross, is negative 2, 7. I can give you these notes if you didn't get that all. Same thing here. I know this looks different, but it's still the same thing. All of this is equal to y. All of this is equal to y. So if they both equal y, that means they're both equal to each other. So 6x minus 6 is going to equal the 3x. Now, I'm going to tell you this because this is the one time where taking the lowest one is going to cause you more steps than taking the other one. There's no other number next to this, is there? So the best thing to do here is to take the one that does have a number. So I would subtract 6x. Now, it's not going to be wrong, and I am going to do that for you where we take it the other way so you can see it because you're going to get confused. So 6 minus 6 is 0 or gone. I'm left with negative 6 equals, and 3 minus 6 is negative 3x. And I know that I try to avoid that, but I'm saving you a step. So believe in me when I say that. There's nothing added or subtracted to the variable now. It's gone. So you see how I saved you a step? And then we're going to divide by the number in front of the x, which is negative 3. Our negative 3's become 1 or gone. And negative 6 divided by negative 3 is 2. And that's our first part of that equation, or our solution. Take either one. Which one would I take? This one seems easier, doesn't it? The one that has less stuff on it. So let's take that one. You could take the other one, and that's fine. You could replace x with 2 in this equation or this one. Well, I know x is 2, so I put it in there, but this is an easy one. 3 times 2 is 6, and I'm done. If you put it in this one, you're going to have to do 2 steps. So there you go. You get your x, you get your y. Now, on this one right here, I want to show you this. I think I have room on the back. 6x minus, what was it, minus 6? Minus 6 equals 3x. Pay attention. Romeo, you're going to want to pay attention to this because there are some on here. Romeo, just pay attention. Don't question me. If you decide to take this one, it's going to look weird because if you subtract 3x, because it's the smallest, what number must you put on this side of the equation? What has to be over here? No. What's 3 minus 3? 0. You must put a 0 there. You cannot leave it blank. You cannot jump the negative 6 over. So 6 minus 3 is 3. And Eric, you understanding how it's always the same steps? I keep saying the same words, doesn't matter the numbers. Okay, guys, so look. Somehow people always don't know what to put here. It's crossed off, they jump the negative 6 over here. You can't do that. It's got to come straight down. If you have no other number, it has to be a 0. Now I have to add 6 to both sides. 0 plus 6 is 6, and then I divide by just 3. Our x is remaining, and 6 divided by 3 is 2, which is the same answer we came out with here. But wasn't this easier than doing all that? And it's confusing. I guarantee you I'm going to have somebody that's going to put a negative 6 over here or some weird number over here. I've also had, what happens is they just go, okay, I'll just put it in between the 3 and the negative 6, and then they come up with negative 2 and it's wrong. Okay? So don't do that. That's why I gave you that example so I could do it. Now here's an even easier one. This one already is solved for what? Y is already there. It's y equals 6. So you already have the 6, the y part of it done for you. You don't have to substitute the x. Now, once again, the 6 is the y, and then negative 8 times x plus 22 is the y. Therefore, I can do negative 8x plus 22 equals 6. And I know what you guys are asking me. Can I put the 6 on the other side and all of that on the other side? Yes. You can flip them around. And I'm going to do this for you. You can do this. It's just, I do it this way because I like the variable on the left. It's just me. But you could do it this way as well. Okay? Well, we start with our steps. Can we distribute? No, we cannot distribute. There are no parentheses. Can I combine like terms? This has an x, that doesn't. Nope, there's nothing else to combine over here. Is there an extra variable? No, there's no x over here. Is there something added or subtracted to the x? Yes, the 22 is. So I'm going to subtract 22 from both sides of the equation. Negative 8x equals, and 6 minus 22 is going to be 16. And the final step is to remove what's multiplied or divided to the variable. Well, that would be negative 8. My 8's are gone, my negative 8's are gone, and 16 divided by negative 8 is negative 2, and I'm done with that one. Normally this is where I would leave off, but I have some people who are joining us kind of new, and I would like to go through one that looks just like number 1. So let's look at number 4, and all of you guys get lucky. We're going to get an extra one done for you. So once again, all of this is the value of y, all of this is the value of y. So if this is y and this is y, then that means they are equal to each other. And we follow our steps. Can we distribute? No, no parentheses on either side. Can we combine like terms? Nothing can go together here. One has an x, one doesn't. One has an x, one doesn't. We can't combine like terms. Do we have an extra variable? Sure we do. We have one over here and one on that side. So we need to get rid of one. I prefer the lowest, which happens to be in this particular case, negative 2x. So I'm going to add. Notice I do the opposite. If it's minus, I add. If I multiply, I divide. So I'm going to add 2x. And I have to do it to their like terms. I can't add it to the 16 or the 14. So if I owe $2 and I pay $2, I owe nothing. It's gone. I have that negative 14. Don't forget the negative. 3 plus 2, 5x. I just bring that down then. These just jump down. My next step after that is to get rid of what's added or subtracted to the variable. Well, the 5 is being multiplied, so it's plus 16. So since it's plus, the opposite is minus 16. Our opposite operations are gone, plus and minus 16. We are left with 5x equals, and negative 14 minus 16 is negative 30. My marker's running dry. I have to get some new ones out. And our final step, which you can see in your steps, step number 5, is to divide by the number that is attached or multiplied to the x. It's attached. Our opposite operations are gone. We're left with x. Negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. So our x value, which is that first one, is negative 6. We are going to take either one, doesn't matter. I'll just take the top one because that's usually what I do unless there's an easier way to do it. And what I'm going to do, and I just wrote it out, is replace the x. Do you see how I replace the x with parentheses? Don't put the x back in here. I'm actually removing the x and changing it for what x is, or equals, which happens to be in this particular case, negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 6 is 12, and 12 minus 14 is negative 2. That's our answer. The coordinate point, negative 6, negative 2. So where those two lines cross. It's that spot right there on a grid. All right, I'll probably be going over some more of these with other people, so if you need any help, 150 Google Classroom.